I have finished my conclusion sentence, and now I'm ready for my next step, which is checking to make sure I have all of the pieces that go into making an expository paragraph. I have this checklist up here at the top of my paper that we're going to go through to make sure we have each of these pieces. The first thing that it has is topic sentences. So topic sentences, as you can remember, were green in our planner and our brainstorm. And so I'm going to highlight that in green here for you. You could highlight it on your paper, but I'm just going through and checking so that you can see visually that's where my topic sentence is. So I can see right here as I go through, I can point out my topic sentence that includes those phrases that were on the front of my expository writing journal to help me have a topic sentence. So here are some ways to take care of plants. That is my topic sentence. Since I found it and know for sure I have it, I can put a check mark on my list. That's there. If it wasn't there, then I would need to make sure that I add that to the top of my writing. And in some cases, if you really did forget it, which sometimes you do, you could use this space right here to write it, or you could get another piece of paper to add on. Next is my big ideas. Now I should have 3 big ideas, and those are yellow. So let's go through and look for my yellows, or my big ideas. I have one of them right here. One thing plants need is water. That's a fact, and it's a full sentence. So one thing plants need is water. That's a big idea. I had that as my first big idea. That's one. Let's look for another one. My next sentence is another thing they need is soil. That's another fact about plants or a big idea about taking care of plants. So yes, I have 2. I'm going to need to find one more before I'm ready to move on. I see here that finally plants need to be somewhere they can get sunlight. And sun was my third big idea or my third fact about taking care of plants. And I have a full sentence right there. So you can see that I have 3 full sentences about my big ideas. So I can go ahead and check those off. I have 3 big idea sentences. Next on the checklist is I included a conclusion sentence. So remember, that's my last sentence that wraps up my thinking and reminds the reader what they were reading about or what my paragraph was about. So I should have my topic somewhere in there. Remember that was green as well. So let's take a look here. It says, now you know there are many ways to take care of plants. I would make sure I used some of those phrases to help me form my sentence from the front of my journal. And I definitely did have that. Now you know is one of them. There are is another one. And then my topic is ways to take care of plants. Again, I have a full sentence and it's a conclusion sentence, so I can check that off. You may notice that after it's color coded, it'll look very similar to the colors that are in your planner. So if I were to keep all of those colored at once, I should be able to see my different spaces like on my planner. So as you can see here, I start with my green, I have my yellows in the middle, and I end with a green as well. My topics sentence at the top, my closing sentence at the bottom, with my 3 big idea sentences in the middle. I'm not quite done yet. Before I'm ready to move on, I need to make sure that all of them are 5-star sentences. As we went through together in this video, we made sure that they were all 5-star sentences as we went, but it's always a good idea to go back and double check. The biggest thing that first graders forget to write in their sentences for expository writing tends to be capital letters and periods at the end. Generally, we do a good job of making sure we have a who and a what and having that the words there for a complete sentence. We just tend to run all of ours together. So please do make sure that you have capital letters and periods, making sure that there's finger spaces and those who's and what's. If you don't have any of those, you need to make sure that you fix them before you move on. Now that you've made sure all of your sentences are 5-star sentences, your writing is really complete. The last little piece that you could do would be drawing a picture at the top and making sure that your name is at the top. 2 very important pieces to help because we know that pictures help the reader understand what the story is about or what your writing is about, and of course our name at the top to make sure when we turn it in or when somebody sees it, we know who the author is. Now you know how to write and plan a expository paragraph. If at any time you need to go back through and watch the video again, then please do that, using your resources along the way to make sure that you have all of those pieces and you're able to share all that wonderful knowledge that's in your head.